Hey everybody! So I'm gonna try and do my first video and put on makeup and kind of show you some of the products. I'm really nervous. I don't do videos. But right now the hubby's working on the car, just sent one kid to pick up pizza, so I have a little bit of time. So we're gonna try this. I don't know if you can see the horrible discoloration in my skin. This is due to some medications that I have to take, and excuse my blue scalp, just redid my hair and still kind of got the avatar look going on. But we're going to kind of try and show you some of the coverage with the products and how I kind of cover that up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on primer. Primer helps to smooth out imperfections in your skin, minimize pore size so that you get a more flawless finish with all of your products. I mean, the whole point of putting on makeup, right, is to make things a little better. I think we're beautiful without it. I generally go without makeup more days than I wear it. But if a little bit of makeup or a rockin' lipstick can help you hold your head up a little higher and face the day and feel confident, then rock it. So I just put on the primer. I'm going to let it sit for a minute. While I let that sit, I'm going to go ahead and work on my brows. I seriously need to get them waxed. So the shape is terrible. I am going to, however, use a brush and a shadow to kind of show you how I can make them look a little cleaner. So I am going to take a little angle brush, and I'm going to dip into, this is darker than I would normally use, but I'm going to try and use all Unique products. I am going to start by doing just a very faint line to kind of outline the look I'm going for on my brows. I naturally have pretty thick eyebrows over time, and because of some medical things, I have some little spots in them now that need to be filled in. I still have to get them cleaned up pretty often because I have enough eyebrows to put hair on the entire U.S. Army. They just don't always grow where I want them. So right now I'm just kind of outlining the shape to give it a little bit more definition. And then I'm going to use just really small strokes to fill in any light spots. Using the little light strokes gives you a more hair-like appearance, so it doesn't look like your brows are drawn on. I know back in the 80s and 90s, like, penciled on heavy Sharpie brows were the thing. Yeah, that's not so much the case anymore. And so while this is not perfect, because I seriously need to get my brows done, can you see the difference? I just enhanced the natural arch of my brow, which, if you don't know, from your nose to the corner is where your brow should end. From your nose up is where they should start. And from your nose across your pupil is where your arch should be. Just kind of simple, give them a little bit more definition, make them pop. Go ahead and do the other side now. I don't know if you could tell, but one side definitely needs more help than the other. Both of them need the help of some threading or some wax for sure. This side tends to have a little bit more gaps than the other. I'm not really sure why, other than, you know, we're just not fully symmetrical to begin with. But just those little bitty brush strokes kind of help create the appearance of hairs where there's not enough to give that brow a little more definition. Your brows are kind of like your outline on your coloring picture, so that you get, you know, a precise, I don't know what I'm saying. Ignore me. I mean, don't ignore me, but they just give a crisp edge to whatever you do to your eyes. All right, now that I have that on, I am going to take a little swirly brush that has my hair in it, and I'm just going to kind of comb through just to make sure I didn't have too much color in one place, not enough somewhere else. Like I can see this side is definitely not as filled in on the inner part. So I'll go back in and do a little bit more. So one thing I have learned recently that I did not know, and I've been a makeup artist for years, I have always done base face first and then done eyes. And watching lots of tutorials, I kind of figured out, why are these ladies doing their eyes and then putting on their face? And it made total sense. We have shadow fallout and we get things where they shouldn't be. And if you do your eyes first, you can then use your concealer and stuff to clean up the edges, give your shadow a definite end, get the fallout out before you put on your base face, and then you didn't mess up everything you've just done. So we're going to try it that way. I have hooded lids. I don't know, maybe the ladies struggle with that. It definitely makes shadow different. I see all kinds of really awesome, fancy shadow looks, and I've tried doing them, and then I open my eyes and I can't see it because it's all in these deep, deep creases that I have because I have hooded lids. And so I learned some tricks on helping to open those back up, get rid of some of that hood so it doesn't look like my eyelids are trying to fold over my eyelashes so much. So I'm going to kind of show you a little bit of that for those of you that have hooded lids. There are plenty of tutorials out there for eyeshadow for non-hooded lids. If you have somebody that you want to show that to, I can give you a link. But for me personally, and for the eyes that I have, I'm going to do shadow for people with hooded lids because that's what I deal with. Okay, kitty, I don't need help. I kind of thought my dogs would be the pain. Apparently it's going to be the cat. For those who don't know, we have 5 dogs, 3 cats, plus 5 foster puppies. We started out with 9. 2 were adopted locally, 2 were adopted and sent to Minneapolis. They've made it, and they're doing amazing in their new family. Who would have ever thought in dog rescue you'd be adopting dogs halfway across the country? So our shadows are infused with primer, so I don't have to put primer on. I typically do anyways, but today I'm not gonna. So when you have a hooded lid, the goal is you want to decrease the appearance of that hood and bring forth the parts that are being hidden. And so to start with, I'm going to take the darkest shadow in this palette. Don't need very much. I'm using a fluffy crease brush. And I am going to take and I'm going to go in where my natural crease is. And I'm just going to kind of work this in to my crease and just slightly above it. And what this darker color is going to do is it's going to pull that shadowed area back to the background, which is where it's supposed to be. And these are colors I am not really familiar with using. I'm not a big rose on the eyes girl, but we're going to try them and see. And so, like I said, this is the darker color in this palette. It's called Fervent. Again, like I said, I'm just working this into my natural crease and slightly above. And then I'm going to take the next color down, same brush, just wipe it off on a paper towel, and use that just slightly lighter color, and I'm going to go above that just to give that full background. And then I'm going to take a much finer tipped brush, and I'm going to take this lightest color, and I'm going to go right underneath those brows that I just defined and use the light color to further edge them a little bit. This is going to be more effective if I ever take the time to get my eyebrows done. For those who don't know, I've had 4 surgeries in the last 9 months, 2 of them in the last 6 weeks, so I've kind of been laid up a lot. So some of those things have just kind of fallen by the wayside. I can't drive myself around and convince your 22-year-old son to take you to go get your eyebrows waxed. It's not easy. So I'm going to take that super light color again, that's Optimistic, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to go in right at the bottom of my lid, close to my lash line. I don't want to get to the crease because I just spent the time to pull that crease backwards, make it recede. But I want to pull at my lash line forward because that's what my hood hides. And so I'm going to go in with the lightest color I have. and that's going to help to open things up. And I'm going to take a even fluffier brush than I started with, and I'm going to go in and I'm just going to blend to make sure I don't have any harsh lines in anything that I just did. Now, I don't know if you can see, I don't have glasses on, so I can't really see what I'm doing. But if you look at the difference in my eyes, this eye has much more of a visible lid than this one because my hood is hiding it. Normally, a lot of people do a lot more dark shadow towards the bottom and lighter colors towards the top, and that's actually going to emphasize the hood instead of opening it up. I'm going to go back in with the darker color and put a little more in just because I'm not getting as much drama in opening that hood as I would like. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of the Fervent. And despite the fact that I don't usually wear these colors, I'm liking this color combination quite a lot. So as you can see, much more visible eyelid. The shadow is showing what I've done. That's kind of how you combat that hooded lid. I'm going to go in and do the other side because now I kind of look drunk. Again, I'm just going to go into my natural crease and just slightly above and do just kind of small circles and a little bit of a windshield motion. I am not putting a whole lot of pressure, so I am not actually pulling on my lid and making myself look older than I already do. These brushes are super, super soft, and so while it may look like I'm really getting in there, it's not doing any damage. Taking that same brush with just a slightly lighter color and working my way out. And then the real fine brush with the Optimistic to kind of clean up that edge on the eyebrow. Again, it would be more effective if I got them done. And then I'm going to take that Optimistic and go right back in, right close to the lash line, to pull that hidden area because of my eyelid hooding forward. In case you're wondering, no, I didn't put on eyeliner. It is tattooed. I have some medical issues that have caused me to have a lot of problems with burning and itching and rubbing, and so for years I couldn't wear eyeliner because it would just get rubbed off or smeared down my face. And so about 7 years ago, my birthday gift from my parents was eyeliner tattooing, and it is absolutely amazing because I can throw on lip gloss and don't look like I'm dead. So there you go. Eyes are done. I'm not doing anything super fancy. I'm not going to do my mascara now. I'm going to do that at the end. But because I have done this first, any shadow fallout that I have, I can take off before I put on the rest of my makeup. And I am going to start out today with our BB cream. BB cream is moisturizer, hydrating, infused, very lightweight foundation. It has some complexion correcting because, like I said, I'm super spotty. I already have my primer on. I am just going to kind of dab all over. Some people will take their BB cream and just, you know, draw with a tube, but because I use this for other people, I'm not going to stick it on my face and possibly contaminate it. And I know it looks like I'm putting a lot, but these are like, I'm barely just picking up anything from the tube. And so I'm kind of just dotting it all over. Where to put the lid? There it is. And now I'm going to take my blender ball. It's already wet. And I'm going to use that to just press this in all over. When you use your hands, you're kind of just smearing it, whereas a blender ball presses it in, and that stippling motion gives you better coverage. And so if you don't have a blender ball, I highly recommend them if you're using any type of a wet foundation, for sure, or a liquid or like a cream. Clearly you're not going to use a wet sponge for powder, But when you are using a wet foundation product, it absolutely helps you get the color and the coverage rather, sorry. And so I'm pressing this in all the way up into my hairline because I don't want like a huge line of demarcation where I put makeup and didn't. It's going to help kind of cover some of those blue stains from having just redone my hair. And so just as simple and as quick as that. Can you see how much less noticeable the discoloration in my skin is? And that's just a lightweight, basically a tinted moisturizer. Now, I'm gonna let that set for just a second. And I'm gonna go over that with pressed mineral powder. Just one, because I wanna show you the pressed mineral powder, but two, I want a little bit better coverage of the discoloration. The tinted moisturizer is a great product. It's probably not something I would use all the time, simply because it's not as good a coverage for covering that discoloration. And brown is a beautiful color. It's just not what color I am. And so I kind of want to cover that. So I'm going to take taffeta pressed mineral powder. And same thing, instead of just wiping, I am pressing it in with a sponge. Nothing fancy, just a little makeup sponge. To get a little bit fuller coverage. I also kind of like a matte look because I tend to be oily, even though because of my health conditions, I do have a lot of dry and flaky issues. When you talk about combination skin, mine went to a special level of difficulty. So I have to exfoliate on a regular basis, or I can't wear makeup at all because it's real flaky. So, but I like a more matte look because I spent my whole life shining and not in the best possible way. Okay, so right now you can see I've pretty much evened out my skin tone completely. I know it looks kind of light, but that's because my natural skin is really light. The brown spots are kind of deceptive. People are like, oh, you have a great tan. No, I don't. I don't have a tan. I really don't go in the sun a whole lot because of health reasons. So now I kind of have a flat face. So I want to put some color back in. And I am going to do that with bronzer. My unique bronzer hasn't come in yet. So I'm going to cheat and I'm going to use another brand simply because I need bronzer. I don't want a flat face. I want to put some definition, dimension. I'm not a cartoon picture, so I want to be 3D. Back in. So I'm going to use this bronzer. And you can use bronzer in the same way that a lot of people use highlighters and contours, because that's just too much work for me. I don't have the inclination to do that unless I'm going to something really fancy. Like when we go to Vegas, I'm going to contour. But so I'm going to take my bronzer and I'm going to start right up here in the corners to kind of get some color, make it look like I've been in the sun. I'm going to put way too much in one spot just now. And do the same thing on the other side to kind of balance that out. And if I put too much, I can always blend it out with a little bit of that pressed powder, just so that it's not so, oh my gosh, you tanned only one corner of your face. And now I'm going to take, and I'm going to come back around with that and kind of like a reverse 3. And I'm going to take, and I'm going to come right below my cheekbone in that natural hollow and work that in there. And then for there, I'm going to go back out and I'm going to finish under the jaw. This is going to give the appearance of eating kale and being thinner than I am. It's going to help hide my double chin. Same thing on this side. Come back around right under the cheekbone and work that bronzer in. And back under the jaw. And I can actually take it down the outsides of my neck a little bit, and that's going to help to pull back and give that three-dimensional appearance that I don't have on my chunky neck. Just to make me look a little thinner, a little more three-dimensional. And I'm also going to take, with just my fingertip, I'm going to rub a little bit of this on either side of my nose to make my nose thinner. I have kind of a wide nose, and this is going to just give my nose a little bit of shadowing to make it appear a little thinner. I'm going to go down the sides, but I'm also going to go across the tip because I don't want it to look like just a ski slope coming off my face. So I'm going to end that as well and create that shadow underneath. Can you see my nose looks thinner, and this part of my nose is more pronounced now, so it gives it a more feminine profile. And then next I'm going to take blush, and this is our blush in Sisterly, right? Yes, Sisterly. And I'm going to take a great big fluffy brush, real soft, and I'm just going to boop in it just barely. It doesn't take much. Our colors are really highly pigmented, and I picked up way too much. So you just boop in it once. You know, the first time you have to brush a little bit just to break that, you know, machine pressed seal of the blush. After that, you really don't take much. And then I'm going to go, stupid smile, and I'm going to hit the apples of my cheeks and work back just above where I put that bronzer. As you can see, not a really, really dark color. I don't want a super dramatic 3-year-old glow going on, but I do want a little bit of color on the top of those cheeks. It's the same thing. Stupid face, find my natural apple, and work back from there. And when you're putting on makeup, you want to work against gravity. Gravity's already doing this number, so you want to go back towards the hairline with most of your things. A lot of people will press it in. I haven't perfected that. I do circles and swirls back towards the hairline. I don't want to help Mother Nature. I don't want to look 50 ever. So I'm working my way back. So see, now I don't look flat anymore. I definitely have way more bronzer up there than I need. So I'm going to take a brush with nothing on it and just kind of blend to make that not quite so dramatic. But now I have dimension and shape, and I have some angles to my cheekbones. You know, I have those hollows, have a little bit of a glow, so I look like I've had some sun. I don't look like so much like my makeup is too light anymore. A lot of people will put bronzer right underneath here to give that pulled back appearance and make their lips look fuller. This is not my thing. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am actually going to use a lip eyeliner as a lip liner, simply because I just like this color as a lip liner, and because I smoked for 25 years. I have those little fine lines, and so my lips will tend to feather. So I am taking eyeliner in the color Prim, and I am going to start at the bottom and define that bottom edge of my lip, and at the top I'm going to define my peak. And then I'm going to take those lines that I already drew and connect to the corners of my mouth.
Mama.
Uh-huh. I am doing a video. I'll be out in a few minutes, okay?
Doing what?
A video.
Oh.
Did you get the parts on your car?
I got the old one off.
I got a little heavy-handed with the liner, so I kind of smoothed it out just a little bit because I don't necessarily want that much drama. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take lipstick in the color Upper Class.
Chris said watch your fingers, and I assumed he meant don't pinch your finger, whatever.
And so I know that my liner was a little bit darker than my lipstick. I kind of wanted to go for that ombre, again, glowy, been in the sun, summer look. I didn't want to go like super cholo harsh, but I did want that dark to light appearance. And I can take that one step further, and I can actually use our lip splash in Sublime. One of the things I love about this lipstick and the lip splash is that none of them feel dry on my lips. They also don't feel like my hair is going to get stuck in them. My husband likes to ride with the windows down. And so then my hair blows, and then I have it in my lipstick, and then it gets smeared across my face. I don't like that. I don't like lip stains because my lips are already dry. I don't want anything to dry them out more. Take a little bit of the Lip Splash in Sublime.
Go away.
And finish out with that. That's going to matte my lips a little bit more because I don't want to be super shiny. And I'm going to take my towel and blot a little bit of that off because I put too much on. But I like kind of that nude, not super dramatic, mellow, matte lip with just enough color differentiation between the liner and the lip to give it more dimension. My lips kind of pop out more, have defined lines. And that liner is going to help it from feathering because I'm a smoker and it's not good. So the next and last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put on some mascara. So ignore me as I get really close to the camera so I can see what I'm doing. When you put on mascara, you want to start at the base of your lashes and wiggle your way out. And you have to make the obligatory mascara face, you know. So I did one coat on one eye, went to the other eye. Now I'm going to go back in again once that first coat is set and build on that a little bit to give me, excuse me, Drama Mama Llama lashes. So my husband's not a huge makeup person, but the reality is that unless I have mascara on, the man will not notice makeup at all. He'll always tell me something's missing. Mascara is apparently his hot button. I've had issues with mascara though because it makes my eyes burn and water and itch, and then I rub them and then it's all over my face. This mascara doesn't make my eyes burn, doesn't make my eyes feel heavy or itchy or any of that. And I can wear it all day and it doesn't smudge, which is kind of amazing for makeup to stay where it's supposed to. And I don't know if y'all can see, like, can you see how long those lashes are? My lashes are naturally kind of long, but this made them even longer. Drama, easy, quick. Would have taken me maybe 5 to 10 minutes if I wasn't telling you what I was doing. Super easy look. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Give me some hearts. Give me some feedback. That's my first video, guys. Love y'all. Have a great day.